So what we have here is a Thrunite TC15. It's a rechargeable 18650 lithium ion powered flashlight. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this flashlight, take a look at the capabilities. We're going to see how it was shipped, and we're going to take it outside for some beam shots. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, why don't you go grab yourself a nice cold one, come on back, and we'll get started. Alright, so before we get started, I did want to say that I was contacted by the good folks at Thrunite, and they asked if I would review this flashlight for them. And I like doing flashlight reviews, I like playing around with flashlights, I like Thrunite, and I like making YouTube videos, so of course I said yes. So let's go ahead and get this thing open and see how it ships. This looks to be the flashlight. Just some initial impressions. It looks like it has a pretty good traction plan. A lot of the flashlight companies are doing different things with the knurling on flashlights these days. Looks like it comes with an instruction manual, but we're not going to read that. Oh, and then it comes with some sort of card. I'm not entirely sure what that says, but I'm pretty sure it says subscribe to the TheSmokinApe channel. There you go. It looks like it's a thanks for your order from Thrunite. It also comes with this sheath or holster. It looks like it comes with a lanyard, pocket clip, and recharging cable. Okay, let's take another look at this flashlight. It's my understanding that this does ship with an 18650 battery already installed. And then here's your insulator. They use these to make sure that your flashlight doesn't turn on and the battery dies during shipment. So here we have a Thrunite branded battery. There you go. It's a 3100 milliamps. And it's an 18650, it says 3.6 volts, 11.16 watt hours. That's my understanding. This is an IMR, there you go, IMR 18650, which can generate a little bit higher amperage output than an ICR, and that's why they've been using these on these flashlights that generate so many lumens. You can tell that this flashlight does not have any recharging ports on it, which is a good thing because I'm not really a fan of that, and that's something that you've been seeing in a lot of flashlights lately. On the side of the flashlight you do have a dust cover, and then you have a USB charging port right there. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a zoom action on that. The threads on this tail cap seem to be well milled. And this flashlight feels pretty good in hand. It's somewhere around 4.8 inches, and I believe it is 1.1 inch in diameter. It feels very comfortable, especially for an 18650 sized flashlight. A long press should take me to Firefly. And there you go, you can see that it does. Notice that there's a smooth reflector there. Just a quick press should turn that off, and there we go. Now a quick press will turn it on, and I can hold it on to cycle through the modes. Don't worry, we're going to go outside and we're going to do some beam shots. This is in low, and it's my understanding that a quick double tap will take you to turbo, and then you tap it again to go back to your normal mode. It does have a memory mode in every brightness other than Firefly and turbo. So one of the things I wanted to do is just do a quick size comparison and talk a little bit about some flashlights that compare to the Thrunite TC15. The first one, this is an Olight M2R baton, and then this is a Phoenix PD35. Both of them operate off of an 18650 lithium ion battery as well. And you can see that there are some size differences here, and there's some differences less between these two flashlights with the knurling or traction plan. Both of these flashlights are a little bit larger, a little bit bigger in the pocket, but both of them have tail cap actuation. The Thrunite does not. What I wanted to do is just say that there's comparable flashlights with similar capabilities that cost more, and there's some that cost less, but I just wanted to do a quick size comparison. What I really like about the Thrunite is it's a little bit smaller, and it feels a little bit more comfortable in the pocket, but you do give up some capability with that. Anyhow, let's keep moving on. I'm not sure how well this is going to come across, but if you take a look at the instruction manual, you'll see a couple of different things. The emitter is a Cree XHP-35, and it has an anti-reflective coated ultra-clear toughened glass lens with a smooth reflector. Talks a little bit about its operating voltage, but we're not going to cover that. The material is an aluminum. I'm going to assume that it is an anodized aircraft aluminum, because that's what most of these flashlights come in at. And here are some of the dimensions in metric system. So it's 122.5 millimeters in length and 27 millimeters in diameter. Here you'll see where it says 24 millimeters, but that's for smaller portions of the flashlight handle. The weight is 71 grams. I don't know if that includes the battery or not. But anyhow, the part that everybody's interested in is really about the runtime and the lumens. So when you take a look at the turbo mode, you get 2300 lumens, and we'll see that outside. After 2 minutes, it drops down to 820 lumens for 83 minutes. High is 1050 lumens at 90 minutes. And just talk about this for a second. 1000 lumens is pretty damn bright. It's not something that you would use in your everyday usage. If you're doing like search and rescue or police work or anything like that, you probably... This isn't the flashlight for you. This is more of an EDC everyday carry flashlight. And when you take a look and you drop down to 250 lumens on the medium mode, which is really appropriate for an EDC flashlight, and you get 6.5 hours of runtime, which is pretty dang good. Low is 25 lumens at 68 hours. I have plenty of flashlights that operate at 25 lumens that I use as part of my EDC kits. Firefly, 1 lumen for 41.5 days. Strobe mode is 830 lumens for 180 minutes. It looks like its max distance is around 246 meters. Impact resistant 1.5 meter dropping. We're not going to do a drop test. And it's waterproof IPX8, which means 2 meters deep for 30 minutes, if I remember correctly. And then just taking one last quick look here, and then we'll get back to the flashlight. Power capacity. It'll 1 to 10%, it'll flash red. 11 to 20%, the light on the button stays red, and 21 to 100, it stays blue. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and see what we see on ours. And I don't see that battery indicator doing anything. If I turn it on, then I can see that it's blue. So I'm going to assume that we are over 20%. Again, this flashlight feels pretty good. Let's go ahead and put the pocket clip on. I know I just opened that like a caveman, but that's how I do things. So it looks like there's only one spot here on the flashlight where I can put the pocket clip. So let's go ahead and do that. Snaps on pretty good, and it has a tight feel, but not too tight. This would be what we would call tip down carry, which is my preferred carry method. Again, we'll take a look there. There is the lanyard hole where you can put the supplied lanyard. Lanyards are a big deal to a lot of people. They're not for me. I don't typically use them, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. You should do what you like. Let's take a quick look at the sheath that comes with this flashlight. It has a Velcro enclosure. It feels very soft. This is like a soft nylon material with some elastic on the side. And then it comes with a belt loop and a clip. Now you could connect this to a carabiner or lash it to something if you wanted, but I would probably use this as a belt clip, or you could maybe vertically or horizontally mount it on some molly gear. Let's go ahead and see the flashlight fit into here, and it fits in just fine with the pocket clip. If that was an issue, sometimes you could put the pocket clip on the outside, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem for us. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about is that sometimes people complain that these side switches can become actuated in your pocket, or they're difficult to find. If you set this flashlight down, you'll see that it has kind of an octagon shape here that prohibits this flashlight from rolling away, as does the pocket clip. But this button is indexed directly across from your dust cap for your charger. The other thing that I always do is I'll put this pocket clip at 180 degrees from the button to make it very easy for me to find and subsequently turn my flashlight on. And then with that move, you can see that a double click from any mode will take you to turbo, and then one more double click will take you to strobe. And then we turn the flashlight off. Let's go ahead and get this thing outside and see how well it does. I'll include a link below where you can purchase this flashlight. I did want to mention that it's around $49 shipped on Amazon Prime. And a couple things to consider. This flashlight does ship with an 18650 IMR battery. They typically are around 10 bucks or so. So if you take that off the $49 price of the flashlight, you're really looking at a $39 flashlight, which seems pretty reasonable for a flashlight of this kind of capability. It's not a tactical flashlight. You'll see that it does not have a crenulated bezel. When I do include the link to Amazon below, I did want to mention that right now, at the time of posting this video, Amazon is currently out of stock. I'm sure, this being a brand new release flashlight from Thrunite, that there will be more in stock at some point.
One of the tests I like to do is be able to read a map in darkness, and this is at Firefly mode. And as you can see, I can read it quite well in Firefly mode. If I hold the selector, then I can go to low, which is pretty bright. I can read the map a lot better. It's still not washed out. When I go to medium, it's too bright, and it reflects back at me. Oop. When I go to low, I can still read the map without it being washed out. Anything above that, for example, if I go to medium, oh, I turned it off. Let's turn it back on. If I go to medium, it starts to wash it out a lot, and when I go to high, it just totally reflects back in my face and makes it unusable. So here's the low mode, just walking around at 25 lumens. And this is plenty bright. Like if you had to run the trash out, maybe check the mail in the middle of the night, or you wanted to, I don't know, walk the dog or something like that. Let's go ahead and step through the various modes. So here we are in medium, and you can see that I get a pretty bright spot there. It goes on pretty well. Back down to low, medium, and there we are at high. Let's see if we can get some range shots out there at high. So it lights up pretty good, pretty far out. So here we are in turbo, and you can see that that really lights it up pretty well. You can see that tree. I'd say that that tree is probably around 25, 30 yards away. And then you can see that tree line down there. I'm not sure how well it's going to come across on the iPhone. But it's a pretty impressive flashlight. Like I said, I'll include links below where you can pick this thing up. I think it's currently retailing for around 49 bucks, $49.95. So you'll have to make a determination if that's something that you want to spend on a flashlight. It's a pretty good price for a flashlight with this capability, in my opinion. I'm really happy for the opportunity to review it, so thanks to Thrunite, and thanks to everybody for watching.